Hello everyone. Here I am with second part of male reproductive system which covers the details about accessory duct and glands. First, start with accessory duct which includes rete-testis, vasa efferentia, epididymis, vas deferens, ejaculatory duct and urethra. First duct rete-testis and vasa efferentia. All the seminiferous tubules of testis. See, as we have seen in testis structure, that these are the testicular lobules which contains 1 to 3 seminiferous tubules within which sperm formation takes place. Now this sperm travels towards this net-like structure which is nothing but rete-testis. Rete-testis on the posterior surface of seminiferous tubule and which forms a network of tubules. From rete-testis, 12 to 20 tubules arise towards the epididymis. This is epididymis and these are the tubules which arises from the rete-testis towards the epididymis. This carries the sperm from testis towards the epididymis. These are nothing but vasa efferentia. Next duct is epididymis. First is rete-testis, second vasa efferentia, third epididymis. It is a comma-shaped organ. See, this is a comma-shaped organ which comprises of 3 parts and it is about 6 meter long, convoluted tubule lying along the upper, lower and inner side of testis. Inner side. This is the tail side which goes towards the inner side. Now internally this epididymis is lined with pseudostratified epithelium with free surface bearing stereocilia. Now these stereocilia are nothing but actually microvilli which absorb degenerated sperm. As they travel, the sperm travel from the efferentia towards the epididymis. In this structure you see the epididymis in a different view. Epididymis is differentiated into 3 parts. First, that is head region or upper region which is called as caputa epididymis, which receives the sperm from rete-testis by ductules of vasa efferentia. See, from this head structure or upper head structure caputa epididymis, all the ductules of vasa efferentia are connected and receives the sperm. Now second is the body of epididymis which is called as corpus or body or middle part which is narrow than the head part. And third, that is quada epididymis which is lower and it is narrower portion and it is also called as tail region or tail. Now what is the function of epididymis? Epididymis, it is a duct which passes the sperm from testis towards the vasa deferens. See, from rete-testis, seminal vesicles pass the sperm towards the rete-testis. From rete-testis, vasa efferentia pass the sperm towards the body of epididymis. Sorry, head of epididymis, then body, then tail. Now this tail region passes towards the vas deferens. See, this is nothing but vas deferens. First thing is that passage, they pass the sperm from testis to vas deferens. Secondly, they store the sperm while before entering the vas deferens for few time duration. During that time duration, sperm matures and becomes motile and active to fertilize the egg. Now third duct is vas deferens. Vas deferens is from the tail of epididymis arises a tube which is called as vas deferens. It travels up to the abdominal cavity and loops over the ureter. These are the ureters, and it loops over the ureter to open into the urethra and join the open into the urethra. This is urethra. It opens into the ducts of deferens, opens into urethra and joins the seminal vesicle to form ejaculatory duct. These are the two seminal vesicles which are the glands, and here it is ejaculatory duct. It forms ejaculatory duct. The muscular wall of vas deferens dilate to form ampulla for temporary storage of sperm. There is also temporary storage of sperm in vas deferens. Next duct is ejaculatory duct. As you see this structure, seminal vesicles which are the glands, and from here vasa deferens forms a junction over here to form ejaculatory duct, which is a 2 centimeter length thin walled tube. It passes through the prostate gland and opens into the urethra. This is the single large prostate gland, and this is urethra, and ejaculatory duct passes into the urethra. Then last urethra is the last accessory duct. It provides a common passage for semen as well as for urine, hence it is called as urinogenital duct. The male urethra is long and extended through penis to its external opening, which is called as urethral meatus. We will see in detail regarding the penis in external genitalia, which is the fourth subtopic of this male reproductive system. Now move towards accessory glands. The male accessory glands are seminal vesicle, prostate gland, and single prostate gland, and Copper's gland or bulbourethral gland, which are in pair. From this diagram you can see these are a pair of seminal vesicle. This large one is prostate gland, which is single, and these are the two small bulbourethral gland or Copper's gland. First we will start with seminal vesicle. These are a pair of glands lying on the posterior side of urinary bladder. They secretes an alkaline seminal fluid which contains fructose, fibrinogen and prostaglandin. Each of these constituents have function. That is, fructose provides energy for the sperm movement. Then fibrinogen coagulates the semen into bolus for quick propulsion into the vagina. When they are traveling towards the vagina after copulation, they form a bolus-like structure due to the coagulation, and this coagulation happens due to fibrinogen. Third component is prostaglandin, which stimulates the reverse peristalsis. Prostaglandins actually act upon the female body organs such as on vagina and uterus, where they stimulate the reverse peristalsis. Reverse peristalsis is a movement of uterus and vagina which accelerates the movement of sperm towards the egg. It contributes about 60% of total volume of semen. The seminal fluid contributes 60% of total semen volume. Next accessory gland is prostate gland. It is a large and single lobulated gland. This red colored gland is prostate gland with 20 to 30 lobes and located underneath the urinary bladder. It surrounds urethra and release a milky white, slightly acidic prostate fluid into the urethra. Yes, urethra, light green colored urethra, and from prostate there is secretion which is slightly acidic in nature, and it forms about 30% of the semen. Now the acidity is because of citric acid, acid phosphatase and various other enzymes. The acid phosphatase protects the sperms from acidic environment of vagina. Acid phosphatase is an enzyme and which protects the sperms when they travels towards the egg. Vagina has acidic environment, and to overcome that, acid phosphatase act which is present in the semen. Last gland is Cowper's gland or bulbourethral gland. These are the small pea-sized paired glands situated either side of the urethra. See, these blue tiny glands are nothing but bulbourethral or Cowper's gland. These glands secrete alkaline viscous mucus fluid which act as a lubricant during copulation. They lubricate the external genitalia, penis, and again they have another function that they neutralize the acidic environment of urethra. As you know that urethra is the single organ which transports semen as well as passes urine through it, and due to that there is acidic environment in urethra. To neutralize that acidic environment, these Cowper glands secretes alkaline fluid which neutralizes acidity of urethra which is there due to the urination. Now, this acidic environment may be harmful to the sperms, hence to protect the sperms, bulbourethral gland secretes alkaline fluid. From this diagram you can see that these are the bulbourethral gland and this is urethra, and these are the last which secretes here the alkaline solution fluids. Till now this much for accessory duct and glands. We will meet with such another interesting topic of male reproductive system, that is the fourth point, external genitalia. Then further we are studying female reproductive system as well. Hope you like this lecture. Thank you.